into our introduction to our new series because it's Advent. Christmas is almost here. Can you believe it? Yes, you can. You can, right? I think some people, we've had a year where, sometimes you're like, I don't want it to be this point already. But I think for many of us, we're like, I'm really happy that it's actually at this point and we're over many parts of the year. But great, that's on the screen. I will just bring up my actual notes for it. Okay, so for this is, you're going to be asked a couple of questions here, so hopefully I haven't put you asleep just yet. The four Gospels. Have you ever stopped and paid attention to the way each of the four Gospels begins? Not how they end or not the detail in the middle, but how they begin. How each Gospel writer chooses to actually begin the story. Now, they have the same essential task. Just see if this is going to work. Brilliant, it's on now. Okay. So they have the same essential task to tell the story of theirs and our Lord Jesus Christ. They each begin at a point in history, a particular point in biblical history, but for each one, it's different. They don't begin at the same point. Four different witnesses to the account of Jesus' earthly life, and we have four very different beginnings. One begins around a year before Jesus' birth. One begins around 720 years before Jesus' birth, earthly birth this is. One begins around 2,000 years before Jesus' birth. And the final one, or one of them, as I say, the final one of the four that I'm mentioning here, there's only four. That's a great line there, Glenn. The final one begins right back at the dawn of time. So collective pop quiz time, and I want you to actually have a chat with those that are around you. Which gospel begins when? And I'll give you a hint. The names of the four gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Oh, okay. I was wondering, thank you, Lindsay. I was like going, are you coming up to answer this question straight away? I know the answer. I want to say it. I bet you do know the answer though, Lindsay. So hint, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, there you go. There's the names of the four. And I suspect the kids might actually have a good go at answering this too. But everyone, you get to have... no, hang on. My real hint is that it's not in the order of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. So the way you see them in the Gospels, in the New Testament, the way they're ordered is not in chronological order. Okay, take a quick minute, have a discussion with those around you, and see if you can come up with the order. You'll find out soon.
No.
All right. So, quick opportunity, if you're feeling brave, if you're feeling confident, to shout out, which one do you think starts at the dawn of time? John, hey, there we go. Which one starts 2,000 years BC? Which one starts 720 years BC? Sorry? Thank you. And which one starts roughly kind of 1 BC? Very good. Very good. Okay. So not everyone got it all 4 right, but it sounded like you did quite well collectively there. So that's Matthew, Mark, Luke and John are in that way in the order. So I'll change it round so it now is in the order that we were just describing it as. So there's the answers. But why am I making a thing out of this? And how does this possibly introduce our Advent series, the long adventure? Come on, dad joke. Yeah, thank you. It's brilliant. Anyway, now you're going to shake your head every week. Stop working again. There we go. How does it actually help when it links? Well, what's the focus point at the beginning? It's not just this time element. With John, we have creation. With Matthew, you have the genealogy. Thank you for the word. It escaped me, but it has Abraham and David are the significant figures in there. In Mark, you have the quote from Isaiah. And in Luke, it goes before John's birth too. So each of them, when telling the story about Jesus, begins at a very different point in history. Now, this shows us that not only that each of these points of time are important, and important places where there's an arrow sign pointing to Jesus, but that this plan of the incarnation of Jesus was always the plan throughout time. God is sovereign over all of time, of the whole universe, all of history and all of time. Okay, so each week we are going to look at a different key moment in scriptural history and see how that moment points us to Jesus. The birth of Christ, of the Christ child, was no plan B or C or D. It was plan A. It was always plan A. There we go. Bit of a reaction. People know who they are. So in the 1980s, there was a hit TV show called... there we go. The leader of the team, Colonel... No, is it Colonel? Yeah, it is Colonel. John Hannibal Smith used to regularly say, "I love it when a plan comes together." Although I probably didn't say that word. It's more like, "I love it when a plan comes together." Is that better? That was. Thanks, Warren. I got the thumbs up, at least one thumbs up. So each week, we're going to see how the greatest plan of all comes together this Advent. All right.